Hello. So, master cylinder today and hydro booster. Well, hydro booster for sure. If you're working on something with a hydro booster and you've got like a god awful noise coming from it whenever you hit the brake pedal, and you have like a lack of power steering response at an idle, you've probably got a bad hydro booster. Or you have debris in it and you can clean it out, but I'll be honest with you. Um, Cleaning it rarely works. Once its stuff's in there, it's pretty much in there. So if you take it out, you might as well just rebuild the whole damn thing, which it's really not that hard actually. You can see it's just really two main pieces here. Three if you're counting the cylinder there on the other side there. That's the boost-o-matic piece right there. I'm just kidding. I really can't remember what the hell that does. But yeah, since this one, I actually had to clean it up because it came from the parts store. Just fucking filthy, covered in rust. If you can't tell, you can still see it. Like, I'm just gonna bitch for a minute about like the quality of stuff that you get. You know, this is supposed to be a remanufactured piece. Like, I just bought this. This came from the store this way. So, I mean, obviously, I'm sending this back. This is Napa for you. Napa's tools, great actually. The Carlisle tools have really held up. I've had a 3-foot bar on the end of this 3/8 drive, and it's still good. In fact, it was this bar. I've used every bit of this bar on that ratchet, and it works. But man, I'm not impressed with Napa's like quality control, because cleanliness, man. It's just, I'm sure this rebuild is fine, but you know what? I'm not taking a chance. I've already sent two power steering pumps back, actually. No, one. I can't remember. I sent a bunch of parts back, turbochargers. Don't ever buy a turbo from Napa. They don't know what they're doing. They mill out like metric specs, because Napa, for some fucked up reason, is stuck in the past and still using imperial measurements on everything. If you haven't heard the news, it's a metric world now. The metric system is better. Okay, what's one step up from 1/4 of an inch, right? I'll give you a second to think about it before I say the answer. What's one step up from 1/4 of an inch? I do believe that it would be 5/16, maybe, or 9/32, right? Which, if you think about the math, you have to do that in your head. Okay, what's a step up from 4 millimeters? 5 millimeters, right there. You see what I mean? Quick, right in the head. So, with that being said, milling out metric parts, like almost everything these days is metric, to fit imperial parts, it's stupid. It doesn't work. And Napa, if any of you are listening to this, please stop it. Just switch over to the metric world like everybody else. It's a better system. So anyways, if you're not really quite sure how to check a master cylinder, in this case, we have very little brake pressure, which is undoubtedly due to the hydro boost system being right full of crap, which, you know, this is a military Humvee, or military Cuck-V, so everything's just kind of dirty, filthy, and jerry-rigged, because seriously, Army mechanics, man, military mechanics in general, not great. I mean, Army mechanics especially are some of the biggest hacks. Like this, for example. Oh, we just have a fuel pump here, you know. It's dead. Still has the lines attached to it. In fact, so not only are we going to replace this lift pump, which helps the engine start, we're going to run the wiring all the way around and put the lift pump, which you can see some of the wiring to it, behind the fucking batteries. Okay, I don't know why they did it that way, but it's Army stuff, I guess. Anyways, so I actually have not seen the inside of this master cylinder because it took a whole fortnight to get parts in that were bad anyways. So, not looking good right off the bat. That looks pretty murky. So, give me 1 second, I'll get a swab. Okay, so it's a little dirty because I grabbed it with my greasy little dick beaters, but it's not really good. It's not really good at all. For those of you who don't know, it should be clear. It's not horrible, though. I've definitely seen worse, but I can tell you one thing. It's not bad enough to justify putting a shitty master cylinder that's supposedly remanned on there. That really shouldn't come out like that. It's yellow on the... It's really yellow on the swab. So in the reservoir, if you had a light on it, which I don't have because it's dead, to charge it, it would look black. And that's usually the sign that you need to change out your master cylinder. And the reason for that, the blackness, by the way, is I'm just going to do a very simple diagram. We'll say this is a chamber, and we'll say this is a plunger. All right, now when you press on the brakes, the plunger goes that way. And what it does, on the other side of the master, you'll have your lines, and it pushes hydraulic pressure into the lines, seizing up your brakes as you would wish. Now, on this valve here are rubber boots, and it's actually sometimes they're built into this, sometimes they're built directly on the valve. Since it's a GM, it's actually built directly on the valve. So, that blackness comes from when this valve pushes forward and forward and forward and doesn't return, from old brakes, and then when you repress the calipers, it resets. And so when that happens, these dried out boots end up breaking down and the material bleeds into the brake system. So that darkness that you're seeing is quite literally pieces of your master cylinder seals breaking down and entering the brake fluid. Not a very good drawing, I know, but it is what it is. Give me a break. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm working on the bare minimum. Thanks for watching.